What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show that we do every week, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to talk about everything and anything Corvette. And that includes your news, your rumors, your maintenance items, your ownership experiences. Like I said before, if it's Corvette you want, Corvette you shall receive on this channel. Tonight we are joined by David. He's on the right side of your screen. And yeah, we're here to talk about some Corvette stuff. So if you guys saw the title clicking on this, you already know it's going to be ZR1/ZR1X heavy tonight. But before we get into too much of that, we are going to talk about the fact that the entire month of August is sponsored by AWE. So if you guys know AWE, they make fantastic exhausts. For the most part, what you guys are going to be seeing tonight and the entire month of August here is mostly going to be Corvette stuff. So right now they make it for the C7 Corvette and the C8 Corvette, and something different coming soon that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet, but we will at some point throughout this live month of August. So stay tuned for that. But for now, you guys know I had the AWE exhaust on my 2020 Stingray. I have it on my C7 ZR1. I had it on my 2023 Z06, and you guessed it, it's coming for the 2025 Z06 as well. The AWE system just cannot be beat. So AWE is the sponsor of tonight and the rest of the month, and you're asking yourselves, well, Justin, what do we win? Well, every entry you make, obviously, is $10. Every entry above $50 is double entries. And you're going to be entered to win a $1,000 gift certificate from AWE. So it will knock $1,000 off one of their exhausts. You can win that for a simple entry of $10. And we're going to start that right now. It's going to be done at the end of August. Now, if we time this right, let me see if we can make that work. So
Carlisle,
August, yeah. So we would actually, we would miss Carlisle, but let me talk with them and see if we can make something happen with that. So for now, $10 is an entry, $50 or more, double entries. And at the end of tonight's show and at the end of every Monday night show, I am going to get the members a free entry. So stay tuned. Make sure you're here till the end of every show to get your free entry if you are indeed a member. If you're not, you should become one. You can get one for free.
All right, I got to lead it off, Justin. Like I'm. It's time for me to switch. $100, man. I'm in.
All right. So right off the bat, guys, David is keeping it up. He's
I see. I before I was like, I want to get it because your car was so similar to mine with it. Now that you have a different color car,
there you go. All right. So David's in for 20. Looks like I just got an entry from Jay Brazelton for 20 as well. So 20 entries for these guys. And anything you guys want to throw out there, you might as well take a shot at it, because worst case scenario, if you only throw $10 in, you only lose $10. But the more you donate, the better your chances are. Yep. But that's not to say you have no chances if you only donate 10, because we've seen it in the past where the person that donates $10 wins.
Nate.
I don't want to say names.
He will live forever.
Yeah, he really will.
And Chopper Larry, I'm actually traveling for work, so I didn't bring my 10th Mountain hat. I always wear it, but
yeah. Jay, I saw you donated $100, but that equals out to 20 entries, is what I mean. So David and Jay both are in for $100 or 20 entries. Yep. So that's what we're working with tonight, guys. If you are interested in winning a $1,000 gift certificate to AWE, let me know. And I'll be honest, as the month goes on, I'm going to talk with AWE a little bit, and we're going to see if we can also discount something off of my website, because I do carry AWE exhaust on my website, so I might be able to help out even further with the cost. So stay tuned for that. But if that is the case, you are going to be winning some serious stuff. You know, AWE exhausts are great, and honestly, if you can knock $1,000 off of any exhaust system, heck, that it sounds like it's worth it to me. So, all right. So Kevin Reynolds says he's going to match you for the 250. For 250, you gonna throw 250 at this thing, Kevin?
What?
Yeah, Kevin's going. He's just taking it to another level here.
And that's too rich for my blood. I might have to wait till next week. Come back.
too rich for your blood. Get out of here. Ricky, AWE does not make sport cats. Great question though, because I had that same question. Jay, you definitely need this. And again, guys, one of the biggest things, I'm going to be making a video about the AWE exhaust system here very soon, again, on my C8 Z06, the new one, the 2025, because there's a couple aspects to that exhaust that I knew, but I didn't realize how big it was until I'm going to build this new Z06, because I'm looking around, I'm like, you know what? I want to try to make things a little bit different. Maybe I won't use an AWE exhaust this time. And that was my first mistake, is doubting AWE. But I started Googling, I started looking at other exhausts, and I came to a realization really quick that the exhaust that AWE makes not only sounds the best, but it looks the best. I have not seen an aftermarket system yet that has tips that look as good as AWE's tips. And I know that sounds so crazy, but it's like, this is part of it. You want your car to look good and sound good, and you can't get it anywhere else. AWE's it.
Yeah, and I have to say, Michael McCurry asked a good question, and I want to know this question as well. I'm glad he asked it. All right, are we getting cat deletes on Seawolf HPO? Are we?
Only because you guys are constantly tuning in and you're so supportive of the channel. Am I going to answer this? The answer is yes. We are doing cat deletes this time. So we're not messing around with sport cats. I'm throwing the full cat delete at this thing. I want to see what this thing can sound like, and honestly, I already know it's going to sound amazing, because the sport cats sounded fantastic. This is going to sound even better.
Well, and again too, like I've heard other brands with cat deletes. Yeah. I have not heard AWE with cat deletes, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I already know it's going to be good.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And not only that, the cat deletes that I got, it's from a company that I've never heard of before, but I'm working with them to get these things, and I got them in the mail the other day, and they look like jewelry. And I'm like,
are they already coated?
No, they have the I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a permanent heat wrap kind of thing. So it's like, I had them on my sport cats too, the third generation sport cat. It's like
yeah.
I can't remember what they call it, but it has that.
The only downside is that heat.
Yeah. Ooh. And with those on there,
it will scars.
It'll contain the heat enough to push out the exhaust. So
exactly.
Let's see. Yeah, so Texas Clay says the blue exhaust on the ZR1 looked great. That was Fab Speed. That does look good on a blue car. And honestly, it looks perfect on a Riptide blue car. That it matches but on a Seawolf gray that has no other blue otherwise, or a black car with no blue otherwise, I personally didn't like the look of the burnt titanium exhaust tips. I wanted black tips. And it's like no one out there makes just a black tip exhaust that's going to sound as good as AWE. So I was like, all right, well, that's it. You know, mine made up. I didn't have to dig very deep to come to this conclusion, but I was in the mind of trying something different until I realized it's just not going to work, because I have a certain level of, quality that I have to meet. And it's just hard to find that out there. What's up, Chopper? Larry? Kevin, I'm still waiting for that donation. I didn't see that come through yet, but did he address that? I thought he maybe did. That's a great question too, Kevin. He says, when do the Seawolf Gray HPO shirts come out? I may or may not be texting my guy about that tonight. Because
that brings up another good point, though. Are we doing any kind of shirt for Carlisle this year like we do, or are we just keeping those bash specific because it's a more intimate setting?
Yeah, I kicked it around quite a bit, and I'll be honest, I feel like the bash and the Carlisle are so close together, it feels too much like a cash grab. So I'm like, I gotta leave it just for the bash. Well, I feel weird doing it.
The bash is a little more intimate. You know what I mean? Too, where Carlisle is just everywhere. So
Robert says he might be getting the 26 ZR1. That's awesome, man.
Awesome, man.
And yeah, guys, we are going to be talking a lot about the Nurburgring numbers tonight, because I want to talk about something that I haven't heard anybody else talking about, specifically how the ZR1 could have actually been faster than the ZR1X, and GM purposely did something to make sure that it wasn't. We'll talk about it. Chopper Larry says, how are Seawolf? How are you? How are your wife and Paul? We're all good here. We're all good. The Seawolf Gray car is great. It is dirty, but it's good. I've been driving it a lot. Believe it or not, I already have 700 miles on that thing. Like that.
I was going to ask, did you hit the brake in yet?
I did. And it's like, I love driving these cars so much. And you guys hear me say it all the time. And I want the actions to mirror what I'm saying. I drive the car every chance I get. I haven't even had the car for a month yet. And I have 700 miles on it already. And that's with me being extremely busy otherwise. Can't really just drive the car as much as I'd like. I would be out in it right now if I wasn't doing this. not saying that.
Well, it's been raining so much here. Well, I got a chance.
We finally got some good weather.
Yeah, and it was so fun last week. Nate and I went out to the mountains in North Georgia and just lit it up. It was so much fun, dude. Like I went through a whole tank of gas after I got to Nate. Nice. Just blasting through.
Yeah, that's so much fun. That's what I mean. The cars are so fun to drive, and they're so approachable.
So fun to drive.
GM has made a ridiculously awesome car in the C8 lineup in general.
Oh yeah,
that you can get into C8 Stingray 500 horsepower, which even 500 is a lot of horsepower, and you can get into that, and it's approachable. You get into the Z06 at 670, it's approachable. The ZR1 at 1064, and it's approachable. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm going out to Street Speed's house tomorrow and reviewing the ZR1. So stay tuned for the review. Should be up this week at some point. Finally going to get to spend some time in the ZR1 cockpit. So
nice.
Kevin, I just got your donation, and sure enough, he did go crazy, balls to the wall, $250 donation. So
woo. Do you have the Cup 2s on still, Justin?
No. So, well, you're ruining all my videos here, David.
All right, I'll stop asking.
Yeah. No,
Did you buy a new car even?
Right. I swapped them out. So I kept them just in case, because they are going to be my track setup basically, so I can just swap the wheels on and off. But Chopper Larry, that is a question that when I first bought the car, I'll be honest, I was a little bit iffy on whether or not I was going to go crazy with carbon. And then I got a call from Bill at RSC, and he's like, dude, are we doing this or what? And I was like, we're doing it. So, yeah, we're going crazy with the carbon. I'm actually going out there on the 12th, I believe, of August. And you guys are going to be blown away at what I come back with on that car. Trust me, because it's not going to be what you think. Trust me. It's going to be wild. David knows what it is, and it's going to be nuts.
Yep. I can't wait.
All right, so, guys, we got 130 people in here watching. Let's smash the thumbs up button. Let's keep going with the thumbs ups. It really helps the channel. It helps drive this out to more people. And, of course, I want to try to get as many people in here watching and entering to win these things as possible, because this is a service that I like to do for the Corvette community. And, yeah, the bigger the community, the better. You guys can possibly win $1,000 off an AWE exhaust. So
that's awesome, man.
Let's see. Yeah. Ricky, I did see that. We're actually going to address that tonight, because that's something that's a pretty big deal. There's a lot of different things that have popped up since the times have come out, and there's a lot of really good discussion that we can have, because even though the times are fantastic, I'm gonna preface everything we're gonna talk about tonight with the times that GM put down. You guys really want to sit back and think about before you go and say, oh, those are disappointing, because those are fantastic times. It's that simple. We're living in a time where you can have a Corvette doing a 6 minutes and 49 seconds at the Nurburgring. You know, who would have thought that would have ever happened, let alone at that price point? Now, with that said, there's some things out there that tell me it could have done even better. And we're going to talk about all of that tonight. What's up, Squirrel Cage? Ken, we are really all we talked about so far was the giveaway from AWE. It's $1,000 off their exhaust. Every $10 is a donation. At the end of each Monday night show, I will gather the members that are still in here, and you're going to get a free entry as well. So, Chili Pepper says, what's David drinking tonight?
I'll never tell. I'm off work, so it doesn't matter.
Right there means it's something alcoholic. Rich Too Bad says, hello, David and Justin. How you doing?
You're right. We're going to talk about Misha's stuff. Justin and I talked about that offline. We both had seen that when it dropped, and we talked about it. So we're going to talk about that tonight, sure.
Yes, we are. So let's see. We're at 130 people watching, 56 thumbs ups. Guys, come on. Let's rock those thumbs ups real quick. Get that done.
Do better than that.
Let's get 100 by 8 o'clock, and then we're going to immediately start talking about all of the ZR1-esque and Z06 Nurburgring stuff. That's all going to be discussed tonight. So let's smash the thumbs ups. Let's get to 100. And then we are going to move on to the news. So let's do that. Yeah. Elijah, Misha has said that a couple times about the Z06 being sub 7. And if you remember, so did Jim Merrow when he was on the channel here. Me and David off camera here, we're actually just talking about how some of the stuff that Jim Merrow had said makes a lot more sense whenever we add in some of the stuff that Misha has just said. So we'll talk about it in a minute, but let's get those thumbs ups rolling. We got 39 more to go, and then we are going to talk some serious ZR1 stuff. Kevin Reynolds says the RSC Z06 exposed carbon fiber rear spoiler is unopened and for sale. I won it here 3 months ago. Please contact me for purchase. Wow. Didn't you?
I was going to say.
Didn't you enter to win that? I think you entered to win that, didn't you?
I did, but I mean, I ended up getting one before the bash. But I mean, and I just did the GTZ spoiler now. But still, I mean, if anybody's buying it, that spoiler is legit. Yeah, it is lights out. God, it's so good.
If I didn't have something insanely ridiculous coming for my Z06, I'd consider that spoiler because that was a nice spoiler.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. This car's gonna be insane, dude. This is gonna be so much fun.
It already is. I mean, half of the fun I have with these cars is modding them out, and it's like I'm already enjoying myself, and I'm only like I think 5 mods in. And I know you guys haven't seen any of it yet, but trust me, it's coming.
I got excited when literally we're on the phone doing the Zoom, doing the thing, and you're like, "Oh, I gotta go sign papers." I'm like, "The fuck sign papers?" Like, "Oh, yeah, I'm buying a new car. I'm buying a Z06." I was like, "Wait, he just sold it." And then I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, this is a good question.
We're gonna have some fun with this joker.
This is a good question. Becca asks, David, would you like a blackout tinting hat? I can mail you one.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man! Any blackout tinting swag.
There you go.
Absolutely. I actually all my keychains are either HP or blackout tinting. And when I dropped my C6 off at Blackout Miami, I had the blackout tinting key tag. And they're like, "Hey, we don't even have these. Where
those were made for the guys up here in PA, so it hasn't made its way down to Florida yet. But I bet Josh probably has a bunch.
I want those.
Between Josh and I, we'll ship some down to them because they deserve to have some too.
Well, yeah, that group down there, and I met the Pennsylvania group when I was through with you that one time. But yeah, the Blackout crew in Pittsburgh is amazing. Your crew down in South Florida is amazing. It's awesome. Yep.
Really is.
Yeah, thanks, Beck. I appreciate it.
General Lee says, "What's up, David? Hey, Justin. First time seeing without a cover. Great to see you, brother."
Yeah, I forgot my 10th Mountain hat, man. Some guy was messing with me in a restaurant the other night. It's probably because I wasn't wearing my 10th Mountain hat.
Is that a true story?
Actually, he was messing with me, yeah.
They
were hammered, though. I was like, this ain't even worth my time. Like, these guys were so smashed. So.
Let's see.
You sent Miami a bunch? Awesome, Becca. Yeah, they literally, that's the first thing when I handed Felipe the keys. All 3 guys in the shop were like, "Hey, where do you get those?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard says, "So glad Justin is back in his Z06. Can't wait to see the different mods you do." I'm glad to be in one too, and I'll be honest, the way it worked out, it was about 2 weeks that I was out of his Z06, and that's about all I could handle. Now
that was it.
Well, and it wasn't even actually 2 weeks. The way it worked was the car was paid off from the buyer, and because it was paid off, I didn't really want to drive it. So the car sat at my house for 2 weeks until the title came. So I wasn't driving it, but it was still in my possession. Then once the title came, we did the paperwork the next day. It was that day, the same day that I signed the papers over, that I went and bought the new car. So technically there was only a couple hours, but in reality, I hadn't driven it for about 2 weeks. So
right.
This is a great question, though. Derek says, "Since you are getting cat deletes, do you have a remedy for the check engine light?" Yes, I do. I'm not going to give that away yet, though. So once that time comes, be sure to check out that video because I do have a remedy for it, and it is a 100% remedy. It's not a crazy, like, might work sometimes kind of thing. This is 100% will work, and it's something I have not seen anybody else talk about. So...
And I wanted to ask that question, but since I was ruining your videos, I'll let it go.
Yeah, we got it figured out, and it's not even a big deal because the check engine light's not causing any kind of giant problem, but at the same time, it is annoying, and I know it is. I went looking for a solution, and I found it. Now, there are a couple people on the internet that have done this as well, but nobody has talked about it on YouTube. So We'll
Nice.
talk. We're going to be talking.
I think I know what you're talking about. If you said it's on the internet, I think I know what you're talking about. So,
Okay.
But.
Mr. Toybox says, "Cat deleted. Will your warranty be voided?" No. So we've talked about that before on the channel too. Number one, it would have to be something specifically caused by those cat delete pipes that GM would be able to say, nope, this broke because of that. And then, yeah, it would void your warranty on that particular part. So the odds of that happening are slim to none because these cars are designed to run without cats. Cats are added after the fact because they have to meet EPA requirements. So odds are very good you would never have any problems with it. But if you ever did, it would have to be a direct result. The damage to your engine would have to be a direct result to the cat deletes. Otherwise, GM wouldn't be able to void your warranty.
Yeah, Chopper Larry said you had Z06 withdrawal, and I said, yeah, I can picture you shaking on the couch, sweating, watching old videos of your
Dude, I did. I was literally, especially right at the very end, I had some drone work done, and I was watching those drone videos. I was like, God dang, what did I do? Like, I knew I was. Here's the thing. A lot of people ask me why I did this. And just as a blanket statement, it put me in a good financial position for the ZR1 and even for this new Seawolf Craze Z06. Well, the selling of that made perfect sense for how much I was offered for the car, how much I owed on the car. It made a lot of sense.
Well, and that too, like, so yeah, we all know black cars are your thing, and the matching black ZR1s are going to be insane. But this car, in my opinion, I'm calling it right now, guys. This car is going to be cooler when he's done with it than the other car.
I think so too.
I'm calling it. Yeah, I'm calling it 100%. I'm calling it. I can't wait to see it.
I totally agree. KP says, "Can you not gut the cat?" You could, I'm sure, if you wanted to, hammer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could gut the cat. Yeah.
The biggest reason
park it in Atlanta, somebody will take care of that for you.
That's true. Yeah. You know, that's what I should do. Is just because putting the cat delete pipes on are kind of a pain in the butt. Just take it down, leave it sit somewhere for a little bit. I'll come back. The cats will be gone. So will the wheels. But hey, we'll worry about that later.
So we'll leave the factory wheels on. It don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Ricky says Justin's gonna have 6 defowlers on each cat. Yeah, I'll tell you what. One thing, real quick. One of my subscribers, he's probably watching. Alex, you know Alex David. He had a defouler on one of his cats actually explode while he was on the track. So like the defowlers are not the way to go. Like especially if you're tracking the car, not a good idea.
And Alex runs his. Alex trailers and runs his. So. Yeah. Which is crazy because then he brings it back and I see it like a day after he goes to the track and it's spotless again. It's like he never even took it out of the garage.
Yep. Some people they have a way of keeping their cars clean all the time.
Oh, his is always clean.
Yeah,
always. He'll send me pictures of it after tires chewed up, rubber all up the side of the car, everything else, and then I'll see it like 2 days later. Send me more pictures. It's completely clean.
Yeah, looks like it's right off the showroom floor.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got 150 in here watching, 75, 77 thumbs up now. Let's keep rocking those. Let's get to 100. We got some stuff to talk about after that. So get to 100. Plus, if you guys are just joining, AWE is the sponsor for August. You can win a $1,000 gift certificate from AWE, and that's obviously going to knock $1,000 off an exhaust for you. So if you want to win, $10 as an entry, $50 or more is double entries. And if you're here at the end of the show with your membership status, you will get a free entry at that point. And we'll be giving this away at the end of August. But yeah, HPO fam, get those thumbs ups.
Justin, real quick, I know did you see the roll cage that Jeremy ordered for his GT3 RS?
No.
I have to send you pictures. It's just like carbon fiber dude. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's so hot.
Yeah. I mean, with the GT3 RS, you don't cheap out. Like you get the best of the best. And Jeremy's already good at getting the best of the best on everything. So I assume.
And if I had one of those, I would wait to put it in my car. I would put it right in the middle of my living room and sit on a beanbag in front of the television inside that roll cage and watch television.
Yeah, and hold a fake steering wheel the whole time.
So
amazing. Chili Peppers 06 says, "Wonder how long Justin will keep the Seawolf, just long enough to get a ZR1 ZTK." So I'll be honest with you, Brad. I'm actually thinking, based on, like I said, the sale of my black ZR1 put me in a good financial position. There's a good chance that I will keep the Seawolf Z06 in conjunction with the ZR1. Like I said, there was a reason I sold the black one. It was a good financial decision. Hopefully that helps clear it up a little bit because it's such a good financial decision. I may be able to keep both. When before, it wasn't even an option. Okay. Generally, will not be able to make it to Carlisle this year. That sucks, man.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you, bro.
I was gonna say it's almost not Carlisle without you there. Looks like he's just over 8,300 miles on his Z06. That's awesome.
That's right. Drive it generally.
That's the way to do it, man. They're not going up in value at this point, so yeah. Sorry, it feels weird to go to Carlisle without General there. But have you met General Lee yet, David, in person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
Yep. You can either confirm or deny that, Becca. Look, I had never seen one, and Jeremy sent me the picture, and it's just absolute art.
Josh doesn't have a carbon fiber one. His car, it's a paint matched one, so it's like a lizard green caged as well. But I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that either. His car looks freaking phenomenal. I love that thing.
I know. I saw it when I was in the shop. I just didn't peek inside of it.
Yeah.
So
I
got close to it. I got close to it. Got lightheaded and almost passed out. So
I saw a video of him tinting the rear window with that cage in the back. And that's not something that anybody wants to do. So, Jeremy, if you haven't tinted the rear window in that car yet, do that first before putting the cage in. Because you will not be able to access it afterwards. Watching Josh in there, his hat was all like it's very rare. He's like you, David. I very rarely see him without a hat on. So his hat's like falling off his head. He's drenched in sweat, right? Like, I'm like, man, that sucks.
Well, and I always try to wear my 10th Mountain hat if I can. So I'm going to need a new one. That one's starting to wear out. But yeah, actually, if you're talking about porting KP, yeah, there's a couple of those floating around out there. One of them's on my car. There's a couple of others, I think 2 others out there that have ported manifolds. So not easy. It burns through bits like crazy. That composite they use is really hard.
Oh, really? It's that hard?
It's that hard, man.
Oh, I would not have guessed that. Okay.
Yeah, it actually burns through bits like that. You will wear out a bit. I think Mamo went through like 3 doing the thing, 3 bits.
That's wild. All right, guys. So we are at 150 watching, 85 thumbs ups. Real quick before we get into the news here, I do want to mention we still have the 2 cars available for sale through the HPO Vet Exchange, and here they are on the very main page. You go to horsepowerobsessed.com, scroll down. They're going to be right here, the cars that we're selling. We still have the Arctic White 2023 C8 Corvette for sale, and of course, the twin turbo C5, which we may or may not be bringing to Carlisle. So stay tuned on that one. But for the most part, right now, we want to try to move this 2023 C8 Corvette. If you guys haven't seen this yet, it's really, really a nice spec. It's an Arctic White, Expel Stealth covered, so it looks like a frosted white. The wheels are painted, just the barrels are painted white. Obviously, yellow calipers there. It's a 2LT, really a nice car with the stock high wing. Check it out, guys. If you're in the market for a C8 Corvette Stingray that is really well done, this is your car. This car's actually
for that price. You can't build that car for that price.
No, not even close. The price he paid, I think he had the window sticker, and I haven't uploaded it yet, but I want to say he was in the 80s, brand new. So that plus the stuff he's put on there, he's well into. I want to say he was at like $114,000 or something, selling it for basically half. So check it out. And not only that, it is local to me. So I've seen the car personally, and I can vouch for this particular car personally. So again, if you're interested, you would just go to the horsepowerobsessed.com website. Up at the top, hit the HPO Vet Exchange. You'll see the cars we have available, and the email address is right here. You're going to want to shoot that email a message, and we'll get you rolling on buying either one of those 2 cars. So again, I can vouch for the car personally. Make sure you check it out if you're interested in a C8 Stingray. Michael McCurry says we should make Seawolf HPO car the official sponsor car. Would look great as a Mountain Dew car. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the one thing I could do to help my chances with a Mountain Dew sponsorship would absolutely be a custom wrap on my car. But I don't think I can do it. I can't. I'm not a sellout. And
honestly, with what you have planned, though, it's gonna look so good. The only thing I would is like if we had a Z06 just to make a straight on track car and just like tear it apart, take everything out of it, and just make it the craziest, lightest thing ever, and then just unleash it. That would be so fun.
That would be crazy. The only thing that's better than that is when we get a tune for the Z06. All right, guys, we're at 91 thumbs ups. Let's keep rolling with those. Yeah, Kevin, that's true to some extent. So I've heard this thrown around a good bit lately. Consumables or mods in general are never, the money you put in the mods is never recovered with sticker price, no matter how awesome it looks. That is true to an extent, unless you find somebody who wants your exact build and is willing to pay for it, which is exactly what happened with my 2023 Z06. I made out on that car, and I hadn't even really talked about it being for sale, because the mods were done to the exact same specifications that that person would have done mods on his own personal car. So he was willing to pay for it.
Right, and just the sheer price of everything you put on your car. What? How many was it? $60,000 in mods or something?
70.
70. So if you got 70,000 in mods and you get a third of that back, you're still yeah. So.
Chopper Larry says, how did that work out for Rob at Paragon? The thing is I don't think Rob at Paragon is actually chasing a sponsorship. I am to some degree. I've done very little work to actually reach out to them or anything. So as much as I am chasing a sponsorship with them, I'm really not, because I realize it's pretty unrealistic. But at the same time, I don't think Rob really did that rap as a sponsorship thing. I think he did it more as like a funny
Well,
thing.
Actually, how that happened was it faded.
It faded,
I don't know if you remember.
Because it was more like this green, and then it faded to the Baja Blast green. So
yes,
yeah,
and so that was a joke. And then they did it, and then they unveiled it at the most ghetto Taco Bell they could find. And then they came out and gave them Baja Blast. They were eating off the wing. It was crazy.
All right, guys, smash the thumbs ups again if you get a chance. Of course, I wanted to just mention really quickly the HBO Vet Exchange website, of course, where we still have these two cars available. Joe's not available to talk about them tonight, but if he was, he would tell you a story about how one of my subscribers reached out to me and talked to me about wanting to sell a C8 Corvette Z06, and we had it sold before I even had a chance to list it on the website. Like, sometimes these cars are just perfect for what the buyer is looking for, and in this case, it sold so fast. Number one, I didn't even know that the car had been signed on as a sellable car. Two, I didn't list it on the website. Three, it was sold before I even knew that it was going to be available. It was already sold. And that's how fast it happens sometimes. So if you have the right kind of spec, that could be for you too. So if you're interested in selling any one of your Corvettes, go to the Horsepower Obsessed website, shoot that email a message, and let us know what your car is and how much you want for it. But yeah, other than that, guys, we're still at 94 thumbs up, so I'd like to do this at 100, but I can't hold back this information any longer. So actually, there's one more thing we can do, and that is...
What's that?
Let's talk about this car really quick. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum giving away a C8 Corvette ZR1 with the ZTK Performance Package and 30 grand. The only reason I bring this up again is this has been in the description forever, guys. So if you want to win this car, you can win it by purchasing the tickets here on this channel. You get an extra 20% free tickets. So if you would buy this, you would normally get 14 entries at $25. You'll get 18 entries in this case, and so on and so forth. The reason I'm mentioning it is because it is only available for the next 7 days. This is just about to be done. So make sure, if you want to get in on this, ZTK car 2025, this is the car. These are the super rare cars. This isn't a 26. You can win it for a donation of $25. Now, check out the link in the description below. That's where you're going to be able to click on that and jump right into buying the tickets for this. Not only do you get the ZTK 2025, you get 30 grand to cover taxes. And I know a lot of people out there seem to think that these are fake for some reason, but I actually talked to a winner of the Z06 from this same company, the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. He won a C8 Z06. I talked to him at the bash. I made a video of it.
Yeah.
The guy literally won the car. He put $2,000 into tickets, two grand, and he won a car worth 160 grand. Yep. So, and they gave him money to cover the taxes as well. So it is real. The guy literally, I talked to him in person. There's no way you can fake that. There's no way he'd be like telling me in person it was real if it wasn't. So check out the links again in the description, guys. Make sure you get entered. It's only 7 days left. That's the yellow one. There's also a red one down there that you'll win even more free entries with. I think it's 50% entries for a Torch Red one if you would rather have that. But either way, both of those are coming to a close very soon. So check out the links in the description. 96 thumbs ups. One last thing for Carlisle. Again, if you're interested in having any of the parts from solar performance installed or purchased, they will be at the booth. Make sure to come check us out at Carlisle. And of course, the phone number you're going to want to call if you do want to get entered to have something installed there before it gets crazy. Because if we go into Carlisle with any open spaces, those spaces will be gone very quickly. So you want to get these spaces signed up for before Carlisle if you have any ambition on getting any of this stuff installed before the show. So let me get the phone number here for you. Because like I said, you're definitely going to want to get it done ASAP.
Yes. Those slots are filling up quick, Joe was saying.
Yeah, they are. And they're, like I said, they're going to fill up even quicker once you, once the show actually starts. So once we're at the show, people are going to come by the booth and be like, yep, I want that. Yep, I want that. And it's going to just fill up almost instantly. So if you want to get in before the rush, basically, I'm putting the number in the chat. Tiffany is who you're going to want to call. Just let her know you want to get in on the solar performance installs. You are going to receive the product without shipping, so you'll save shipping, and a free 3-year warranty. So you'll also get a better deal than you would normally.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, we're at 100. Let's do this. So let's talk about the very first thing we're going to talk about is the 2026 Corvettes being built early. So right now, this particular user here, Demon Works, got word that his 2026 Corvette was built on 7/31, but he had a target production week of 8/11. So he's roughly 10 days early on his build of a 2026. So if you guys are in line waiting for a 2026, they are building them as we speak, which is really cool because they weren't supposed to start. I want to say it was either this week or next week for the 2026.
Yeah,
usually when they were supposed to start.
August, yeah. Exactly.
So they started early. Not only did they start early, but I mean, his was actually built on the 31st, so it could have started as early as the 30th. But they can't finish a build in a day, so it's possible. Either way, 10 days early. So if you're waiting for a 26, yours could be there too. So hopefully they start building some 01s early, if you know what I mean. But we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, Chopper Larry says, where's Shane? If I had to guess, he's working like a madman. That's what he does. But he'll be at Carlisle. So if you guys want to meet up with Shane, see the thumbs up guy in person, he will be at Carlisle.
Yep. Yeah, 2 of his 14
jobs.
Yeah,
John Perkins says he's working 2 of his 14. that's accurate.
Yeah, the last time I called him, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm working McDonald's security. He's just sitting out here in this parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Chili Pepper says, why did they run the 2023 model build so long? And the best answer I have to that is because there was such a ridiculous demand for the Z06 especially that they had to extend the production dates for those to even come close to meeting the demand. It was mostly because of the Z06, but if I had to guess, it also had something to do with probably because of the 23 being the 70th anniversary. They probably wanted to make sure people got those cars. Yeah, look at this. Ken's doing the Lord's work over here. He's logging in the 3 different accounts.
I saw that. And Seawolf, wait till you get your throttle bodies and controller on, buddy.
Yep. It's going to be nuts.
A big difference.
It is a huge difference. And like I said whenever I picked up my car, my Seawolf Gray, I said that it doesn't feel right. It feels almost
you have
like
that lag on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It felt almost like the car was being held back. And somebody commented and said,
exactly do that.
Somebody commented and said, well, Justin, that's the because the Z06 doesn't have as much torque as, and I'm like, no, it's not. That's not what it is. But like, I know what to expect out of the Z06.
Torque is your Z06, Justin.
Right. I know what to expect out of the Z06. The throttle response wasn't there, and there's something about those ported throttle bodies with the air intake that just
tip in is so much better.
The car just comes alive.
Well, and again, like your throttle ramp on your GM on the factory is kind of like this.
Yeah.
And when you throttle into a put on performance, it's more like
this.
So
right.
you just roll into it, you're like, whoa.
Nice. Aaron.
ARPM just booked it today.
No, he already has one. I was gonna say he could get a ported throttle body, but he won one. So there you go. Let's see what else we got here. So the 2026s are being built early. Oh, this is a good one. All right. So you guys know by now the 2025 Corvette ZR1 is sending the world, like, basically it's blowing things up. People want this 2025 ZR1 so badly that some people are charging 30, 40, 100, 200K over MSRP. They're all over the map. But this particular dealership, Jim Trenary, whatever it is, Chevrolet O'Fallon, Jim, I don't know, whatever it is. I can't read this because there's a sign underneath it. But basically, yeah, Jim Trenary Chevrolet. This is a Corvette, and it's a shame because this is the exact spec ZR1 I was going to get. Seawolf Gray, carbon fiber, exposed carbon fiber ZTK package. I think it has red calipers, if I remember. Yeah, red calipers. The only thing they didn't do in the interior was I would have done a splash of red in there as well. But this is the exact spec otherwise that I would have gotten. I mean, look at that freaking wing. That thing, I love it.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
It's this car, as you can see, its MSRP is $209,000. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. Does that mean that they're charging MSRP on this? No, not in the slightest. So
nope.
this particular car, if you call about it, of course, they leave it at MSRP. It looks like they're charging MSRP for it, but of course they're not. And what they're actually charging for it is ridiculous because they're actually pinning it back on the customer. They're saying,
yep,
you're the reason that this car is over MSRP, not them. They're not asking for extra money. And this article actually comes to us from the guys over at the Corvette Blogger. Right here, it says, blame the customers. The dealer claims innocence while slapping a huge ADM on its 2025 ZR1. So blame the customer. So I was like, okay, you got me. I'm intrigued. I scroll down here and it says that the car is MSRP. We are asking MSRP, but customers are making offers. Now tell me, who would have been the first customer to come in there and say, are you guys taking MSRP? And the guy says, yeah. And he says, okay, I'll buy it for $400,000, please. Like, no, he would have bought it for $209,000. So don't tell me that somehow this turned into them offering you more money when you were actually asking MSRP. You were never asking MSRP to begin with.
Right, exactly. Like you said, nobody's walking in and ask, is it MSRP? When they say yeah, it's like, that's like bidding against yourself.
Exactly. You would only hurt yourself. So it actually goes on to say somewhere in here, the guy that was talking to them, I got to find it now. Oh yeah, here it is. Oops. Says, more from seller. We were asking MSRP. Customers are making offers. Current offer is $410,000. Only 50's 2025 ZR1s produced. He's wrong on that number now anyway. Here's your chance to own one. The 2025 ZR1 is here at Jim Trenary Chevrolet, and it's rewriting rules of performance, blah, 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 blah. So the current offer is $410,000. Now, ask yourself, how did it get to $410,000 if the MSRP was only $209,000? Again, who's the first guy that walked in there and said, oh, I'd give you $400,000 for it? No, you're just going to buy it for $209,000. If you're the guy, if you're like me, I would have walked in there and be like, oh, that car's $209,000? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you $205,000 right now. Like that, I'm not going to offer more. You offer less. No. Nobody on this planet offers more.
Somebody did, I guess. I don't know. If they did, somebody needs to find that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Somebody needs to find that guy.
That guy is a paid actor.
That's exactly right. No, I'll give you a 30. He's the guy. Look, he's the guy that does the detailing in the back. They just put him in a nice suit. No, I'll give you 30 over.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why would you give me 30 over? It's at MSRP. Why'd you pay? You want to pay more just cause? Robert says it's the customer's fault that they are a ripoff? Question mark. Yeah, exactly. And like, I would like to meet the guy who said this, and I don't think they ever said the guy's name, but he obviously works there. I don't know if it's the owner of that dealership or if it was one of the salesmen, but whoever it is, I'd like to meet him and be like, dude, what are you talking about? Because no one did that.
So here's the thing too. It's almost like it's being bid up. Like Hot Rod Top brings up a really good point, right? To get to 410, they had to turn down 400. Right. Or 470, or what dealership's turning down an extra $200K just to squeeze out another 10 more? That ain't happening, man.
The only way it could have happened like that, though, is if the second that thing hit the lot, some random guy being crazy said, hey, I'll give you 410. And then everybody else has offered something less than that since then. But still, why did that guy offer 410 if it was at MSRP?
Okay, question for you and everybody in the comments. If you had screw you money, like, and I mean screw you money, would you just not even go in and ask them what you want to just feel like, okay, I'm going to give them a number they can't even say no to? Would you walk in and I wouldn't, even if I had screw you money, would you?
No, not if it's sitting there at like, MSRP. Why would you pay more for any? It doesn't matter how much money you have. You're paying more for something that you don't need to pay more for.
Or even if they were like, oh no, it's 100 over, and you had screw you money, you could be like, okay, I want it that bad, I'll take it. But who walks in and just drops the number?
Yeah, and this is another good point. Chris says if someone offered $410,000 and it's still there, that tells me they're more stupid than this article. Clean it up and get rid of it. Exactly. 410. Why is it still there? And the answer is no one has offered 410.
No, that's my point. Nobody walks in and goes, I'll give you 410 for this car. Yeah. I don't care if you're offering it for MSRP. Right.
Yeah, like what kind of stupidness is this?
Look at the comments, Justin. Nope, never, nope.
No, because, and I mean, I've talked about this before. If I was a billionaire, I'm not going to just go out and spend more on something just because I have the money. Like it's the principle. The car's worth 200 grand. I'm going to pay you 200 grand for it.
Yep.
I mean, I'll gladly play.
Rayson says this: if I have FU money, I'm going to buy out the dealer and fire everybody.
That's the way to do it. Buy the dealer, fire the guy who said this stupid crap, and just take the car anyway. And I mean, honestly, at $410,000, you're probably not far off from being able to just buy the dealership.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
Again, another one, Mr. Toybox said he was offered 400.
Why wouldn't you pay? Why wouldn't you just pay for your allocation and get this? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, this is the dealership way of trying to, and they do this all the time. Dealerships are constantly trying to flip it on the buyers, and this is another way of them flipping it on the buyer and saying, "Hey, you guys did this, not us. We were an MSRP dealer." Yeah.
Sure. And there's no owner, and some of the people in here own dealerships in this thing, but there's no owner that's going to let a sales manager turn down 410K over.
Not a chance. Yeah.
No way. You just lost your job.
They wouldn't even have made it. They wouldn't even have made it to 410. He wouldn't have let them turn down 250. Like
exactly. That's what they're doing, Steve. Is they're just letting people bid it up.
Yeah.
They're saying this is our offer. Yep. Can you beat it?
And that's exactly
it's an unofficial auction.
That's it. It's exactly what this is saying right here. His little statement right here where he's saying that the current offer is 410. You read between the lines, they're telling you come in with a higher offer and it's yours.
Yeah. It's an unofficial auction. It's bull.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pathetic. This same stupid crap happened with the Z06, where we were seeing ridiculous offers, ridiculous people coming out with ridiculous amounts of money on their cars, and they were thinking people were going to buy them.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's a shame that we have to deal with this kind of crap, but at the end of the day, these dealers are the problem. It's not Chevrolet, really. I mean, it kind of is their fault too, but for the most part, it's the dealer. And don't when you read one of these articles, don't anybody on this planet, nobody better believe that what he's saying is accurate, that we're the ones to blame. No, we're not.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing too, like, this model that the original dealership, the way it's set up, as far as the way it's, you don't work for the manufacturer, whatever else, is so antiquated, but we're never going to get rid of it. It's so ingrained in both, there's like actual legislation on it to protect it, so it's never going to change. But those people that bought Z06s that, paid $300K for a Z06, what are they thinking right now?
Exactly.
They must. I hope they drove the hell out of that car and enjoyed it, because if you bought it to save it, to keep it, yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I Supercharged E-Ray says that there's been multiple sales for over 400,000 for ZTK cars, so 410 doesn't surprise them, but GM will determine the price by how many they make. Yeah, and it's. I personally have not seen a ZR1, a C8 ZR1 yet sell officially for more than over 100. 100K over was the highest I've seen, but that's not saying that doesn't exist, because I'm sure it does. It's just ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous that somebody would pay that amount of money. And just like David just said, now you're holding on to a car that you spent $200,000 over for, that in a couple months, maybe a year, is going to be worth $200,000 less, at least. maybe more.
Well,
Depending on how many they make.
And the ones that have the most legitimate chance of being unicorns are the 25s.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I've got a feeling GM's going to make enough of them that, yeah, it's going to be a great car. It's going to be whatever, but it's not going to be like the 2019s because they only made 3,000 of them.
So,
you know?
Chopper Larry, you have a point here. He says all these crazy stories are just free advertisement. And
that's true.
That is true to an extent. And I try my best to make it so that's not the case. I want people to know how disgusted I am by this, not just putting it out there. Because I did the same thing back in the day with the Z06. There was some guy on eBay that was selling a C8 Z06 for $800,000. And I said, when I put it up online, I said, there's no way that this guy actually expects to get that amount of money. What he's doing is trying to get the whole there is no bad publicity thing. He wants people to know of this auction and to give them something over. And that's what's happening here too. Identical kind of situation. But it's stupid and it's disgusting, and I hope that people watching this go, yeah, you're right, and don't even give it another thought, because $200,000 over for a car like this, the car's great, and we're going to talk more about why it's even better than you might think here in a second. But it's not worth $400,000. Even GM doesn't think it's worth $400,000, or they would have priced it at $400,000.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, exactly. KP said the same. Not that this is a Mopar channel, but they did the same thing with those last call Mopars.
Dude,
they ran that stuff up. The TRX, the same thing, dude.
There was like 13 last calls.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but this is really the last call.
Yeah, for real this time, guys. We're serious.
The real. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't seen it yet, the Ford CEO, Jim Farley, responds to the Corvette team's Nurburgring Times with a game on message. He replies officially to Chevrolet, or Corvette specifically, and says, congrats to the Corvette team, game on. And
game on.
David and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
Having a nice, healthy rivalry between two automotive manufacturers is a great thing, because if Mustang goes back to the Nürburgring and somehow beats their last time of 652, let's say they hit 649 and a hair faster than the Z01X, now it lights a fire under Chevy. They better go back and beat it again and just keep doing it until we as the consumers win. Now, this is kind of going to segment into my next piece of this particular live video and why it's titled the way it is. I personally believe, and you guys have already kind of brought it up in the comment section, Misha has already talked about the fact that the Z06, I mean, this was months ago. The Z06 was a sub 7-minute car. He drove the Z06 on the ring and firmly believed that the Z06 could do sub 7. And I thought because of that and the stuff that Jim Merrow was saying, Jim Merrow said the same thing, sub 7-minute. 658, 659 is where Jim was saying the C8 Z06 should be. Now, when it came out that it's a 711 for the Z06, and that other YouTube channel did it in 710, and the ZR1 was 650, ZR1X 649. I'll be the first to admit, my mind basically goes to, that's kind of disappointing. But in reality, you got to understand, these numbers are fantastic in their own right. But the biggest thing you got to understand, these cars are driven by engineers, which I'm going to do my best here to tell you that engineer can outdrive any one of us on this channel. Whether it's me, David, the guys in the comment section, 99.9% of the people on YouTube, the engineers can outdrive us. But that's not saying that they're the fastest in that car. There are pro race car drivers that could have driven these cars faster, and Misha has acknowledged that, and he says right off the bat, a pro driver is minus 10 seconds on every one of these times. You put a pro driver in the Z06, you are getting a 6-minute 59 second car. So that's sub 7. I don't care how little it is, it's a sub 7 car. Now you take 10 seconds off the ZR1, you're at a 6-minute 40-second car. 10 seconds off the ZR1X, 639.
And we talked about that offline, that when you take the 10 seconds off, it starts to push close to Jim Merrow's predictions on the math.
Almost identical to what Jim was talking about.
Almost identical. And Misha broke it down on the lines. Like he left it out here. He was like, usually we're going 128 in this corner. We're like 10 mile an hour slower. So there was a lot of room for improvement in that lap. And those engineers, like you said, dude, I could never do anything they do. Like, I mean, they are amazing. A lot of them are semi-pro, right? A lot of them have their, racing license. They actually race, but they're not pro.
And that's
drivers.
a great way to put it. I would say the same thing. They're semi-pro. And
right.
Again, I'm not trying to make light of that in the slightest, because the engineers are fantastic drivers. But at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing. They're not a professional driver. The person driving the Mustang, the GTD, that was a professional driver. That's not an engineer from Ford. That's a professional driver. That's the difference. And the person that drove the GT3 RS and the GT2 RS, professional drivers. Those are not Porsche engineers.
And I think, too, what Misha said in that video, if you caught it, I think it was probably the best statement he said, is that when somebody's a race car driver or a driver of the car is not afraid to crash the car because they're going to push that hard, the GM folks are not going to want to crash that car.
Yeah, because if I had to guess,
but if you have a pro driver who's like, it ain't my car.
Yeah, exactly. You probably have an engineer that's been told, hey, go out there and kill it, but you break it, you bought it, buddy. Like, and if that's the case, I'm not pushing it to 110%, but a pro driver might. So 100%.
They're amazing. They're amazing. They've got, a lot of these guys, have amazing lap times at different places. But I mean, again, we talked about offline too. Somebody said in here, I can't remember who it was, like Max put a video out driving the GTD. He just got one delivered. But Max got in the GT3 Ferrari car to test it for them. And of course, he had thousands of laps in simulator time, but he went out and smashed the freaking ring record in a GT3 car. So somebody like that, I mean,
that's what we need.
One of these cars.
Now,
but innovation drives competition, like you were just saying.
Yeah.
Right. If Mustang just put out a thing, or somebody said something today in a short that said Mustang was already out there with a GTD and that they were going to be there. I don't know.
Somebody just said that they think the ZR1X is over there again too, and that's what you should do. If you want to be the best, go be the best. Don't freaking get a number and then be like, okay, I'm done.
You know what I'm secretly hoping for is that this GTD ZR1 01X GT, I really hope, for the sake of what it would make Corvette then respond in kind, I hope Ford puts out a new Ford GT that is an absolute animal, and then Ferrari, everybody else gets put on, and then Corvette has to turn around and respond.
Yeah. Again, competition breeds innovation. We win whenever it happens. So Ricky says that he thought that the Z06 lap also looked damp. It very well could have been. As you guys know, the weather over there is pretty unpredictable. It rains a lot, that kind of stuff.
Well, it'll rain on one side of the track and be dry on the other.
And Jim said that. He said that there was plenty of times he was coming around turns where he's flying, and then all of a sudden, bam, track's wet. And it's like, ooh, that's bad. So anyway, again, we take off the 10 seconds. We're very close to the Jim Merrow numbers. Now, why did I say in the thumbnail that I think the ZR1 could potentially be faster than the ZR1X? So as of right now, GM has it pegged as the ZR1X is like 1.5 seconds faster around the ring than the ZR1. Again, this was something Jim was talking about, that he speculated that he didn't know exactly what the weight was and how long the battery would last and everything on the X, so he didn't say this specifically. But I kind of said I felt like the battery probably wouldn't last the entire ring. So if that's the case, how is the ZR1X faster? And I'm going to just put it out there. I haven't seen anybody else talking about this. And I noted in their videos where they showed the PDRs of each car that the ZR1X was a 2026, but the ZR1 was a 2025. Now, why does that matter? The 2025 ZR1 does not have the bigger brake setup. So going as fast as you can and then braking last second into a turn, it's going to be a little slower because you're not braking as good or as well as you could be with a 10-piston caliper setup in the front and a 6 in the rear. Instead, you got a 6 in the front and a 4 in the rear. I'm not saying that those are bad brakes, but there's a reason they went with 10 in the front and 6 in the rear. The car obviously responds well from having better braking. It means you can come into a turn much faster and brake at the last second. So that plus the 2026s get a new PTM mode, a new performance traction mode that allows them to turn off more of the nannies, allows you to get around that track even faster. So ask yourself, did the ZR1 really lose to the ZR1X, or did it just not have the same parts needed to make it happen?
Again, we talked about this. I really think that's, the bigger brakes, because not that you and I are good drivers. We're good. We're not great. But where did you pick up the most at Ron Fellows? Was it when you had the accelerator the whole way down, or was when you learned under braking?
How to brake. That's it.
How to brake. The deeper, further in you braked, you picked up way more time. And if you've got the ability to come in, like, again, there is a difference at that track at those speeds between the regular brakes and the 10 piston setup. 100% there. 100%. And normal everyday, what any of us would experience, it's not. Now, on that track, it'll make a difference.
Now, here's my thought on this. So, number one, just like David said, brakes matter a lot when you're coming into a turn, because if you have the bigger, more robust brakes, you're going to feel confident braking later, braking harder. So, right there, you're picking up a couple seconds, maybe a minute.
Right.
Then, on top of that, the performance traction management that's new for the 2026 models that helps turn off all these nannies, it's going to give you better. If you're a race car driver, you're going to have more confidence in the car because the car is not limiting what you can do. You're going to be doing it. So that PTM mode could pick you up another couple seconds, maybe a minute. So again, the ZR1 is probably faster than the ZR1X. Why did GM do that? Why wouldn't they have given you the? I mean, there's a couple reasons that it's possible that we didn't get the 2026 ZR1 over there as well. I'm leaning towards they didn't want the ZR1 to be faster than the ZR1X in a video. They didn't want you to see, hey, this new ZR1X that everybody's going crazy for, it's slower than the ZR1. That's I think that's what it was.
And I don't know, like, again, you were talking about the new PTM. Is that going to, you turn that to a point where you can do a little bit more of the more race driver kind of things, like, how much more trail braking can you do versus just hammering into the corner and come out, because that's how F1 drivers do it, right? They trail brake off around the corner.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so NBA side, NBA Live says Justin, the ZR1 that they ran did have 10 piston brakes. It did not. They had, and this is another thing that kind of irks me a little bit. They did have a ZR1 over there that had the 10 piston brakes, but that's not the one they ran. Now I can show you how I know this, and it's right here. So on YouTube itself, the PDR footage for the ZR1, you can see the title down there. That is the 2025 PDR. Now you might say, well, maybe they just didn't update. Well, no. Because here's the 2026 ZR1X PDR footage. You can clearly tell it's different graphics. The 2025s did not have 10-piston caliper options. So the car they ran, the ZR1 they ran, is 100% a 6-piston car, not a 10. So that, with the combination of the performance traction management being different in the 26, I believe that means that ZR1 would have run
it was a 25
better time.
Yeah.
100% it was a 25.
And they keep asking in the comments. I think the little crown with the numbers is the amount of comments. Who's commented the most? Isn't that correct, Justin? When it says like number 1, number 2 on the little crown thingies, I think it's counting your.
It is the comments. Yeah. So right now I have number 1 is V8 behind. Number 2 is Texas Clay. 3 is Charles, and it only does the top 3. If you're on a computer, I don't think you could do it on a phone, but if you're on a computer, you can actually click on that little crown and it will show you the top 10. No?
Yeah.
The top 50. Yeah, top 50. So if you have a crown by your name, Texas Clay, you're doing it right, man.
Yeah. That's what I told it. That's because everybody's like, what is it? Everybody's like, I don't know, but that's what it is. It keeps the keeps the count of the comments. So Clay, you're number 2. You're killing it, bro.
Yeah. Keep it up, man. I appreciate that. I didn't actually know what it meant either until I just clicked on it. So,
that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So Chopper Larry says maybe they ran it without the front electric drive. If they did that, no, actually I know they didn't do that, because again on the video over here on YouTube, you actually see the charge down at the bottom going up and down as he's driving. You can actually see it in that screenshot right there. The charge is up into the positives. Yeah. So they ran it with the charge. I think the biggest reason I could come up with is GM did it on purpose. They did not want the ZR1 to show faster on this ring than the ZR1X. And that's the easiest way to do it, was to run the 25 ZR1 without the better brakes and without the better performance traction management.
Well, and plus, like we said, it leaves, if they knew they could get it and they got out there and they got a better time, even if it was just marginally, they got a better time, then why run the 26 yet? Right? Because Ford's going to respond. Yeah. Now you've got a pro driver if you need one, and you've got a little bit better car if you need one.
Yeah. And it's kind of odd because we know they ran a 25 for the ZR1. But then they post this picture, and the two ZR1s there are 26s. The ZR1 and the ZR1X are both 26s that they're posing with. But that's not the car they ran. So
no,
it almost feels like they were purposely disingenuous here, and I don't love that feeling. I'll be honest with you. I don't love that they would have done that, but I can understand can understand in my head why they did it, even though it's disingenuous and it's not a good thing to do. It's not a good look. They should have just said, hey, the ZR1X will absolutely kill the ZR1 on certain tracks based on the size. The Nurburgring is such a big track, it didn't beat it. But put it maybe on the VIR, maybe it beats it there. I don't actually know exactly how the charge works on the thing, so I can't say for sure either. But it will win on certain tracks based on that front motor consistently having a charge. I can't imagine it would have kept a charge the entire time on the Nurburgring. So I really,
it's a long track, and if it was all where you could get a lot of regenerative for like braking kind of thing, but like it's not. There's such long straights where you're just not doing a lot of braking. You're doing a lot of coasting, lifting back on, where you're not really doing a lot of braking. So
so there's not a lot of parts for it to recharge. And
I thought that too, Omi. Did you pick that up, Justin? Omi brings up a really good point that they put the fastest driver in the Z06.
Well,
out of the three.
I'll tell you what.
I say fastest, but
I was going to say let's put those three guys in a room and say, hey, Aaron Link, you're the fastest. You're the fastest one here, right? None of them are going to say yes. They're all going to disagree.
There's a fist fight about the breakout,
right? Yeah. So I mean, as much as I'd say that's probably that, it might not be. I mean, I know Aaron Link is quick. Jim Merrow actually vouched for Aaron, saying he was a fast driver, but that doesn't mean the other two guys are slow by any means.
Well, if you do that with 3 race car drivers in the room, everywan's junk's going to get put out on the table immediately. Like done.
Yeah.
Like it's
like, no, dude, you went into turn one. Yeah. You went into turn one. You were 3 seconds behind me. Like
exactly.
Yeah. Lewis says,
my Honda.
Lewis says, yep, you can't have the ZR1X as a slower car for marketing purposes. And GM's been really good with this in the past, where they will take the Corvette engine, the LT4, bloop, right out of the Z06, and then they'll put it into a Cadillac. But it's not 650 horsepower, it's 640 now. And they do that because they can never outshine their top dog performance car, which is of course the Corvette. So this is the same kind of thing on a larger or on a smaller scale, being that they're all still Corvettes. You can't have this brand new performance variant that's supposed to be better than the top dog Corvette showing up as slower on the track. You know what I mean? Like this is the track everybody wanted the numbers for.
I'm just glad we got numbers.
I am too. And
I thought for a second, dude, I got worried. I was like, no, do not do this to me. No.
It's funny that those numbers came out too. 3 days after we had a live video talking about how we didn't think the numbers were going to come out. Like, it's almost like GM was watching them like, okay, we got to put them out now. Like, people are starting to think we're not putting them out.
Yeah. No, I was getting nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was like, man, no, come on. Not again. Not again.
So NBA Live says he put out a document in Discord where GM said they used the 10 piston brakes. This again doesn't make me feel very good about this, because if they really did say that they used them, and we have pretty good, like what looks like pretty solid evidence they didn't, unless I could see that car literally on the ring and see it running 10 piston calipers, I don't know that I believe that they did. Because did they retrofit 10 piston calipers to a 25? Why would they have done that? Even if they did, let's say for an argument's sake that it was a 10 piston caliper, they still were not. They were definitely not using the new performance traction management, because the whole system is shown on YouTube is not updated. So,
but even that, Jay brings up a really good point, right? Everybody here, we have to understand. Okay, the engineers want to build the biggest, baddest thing on the planet because they're engineers. The drivers want to drive and they want to but GM is in the business of selling cars.
Right.
They're not in the business of breaking ring records.
Right.
Yes, if it helps them sell cars, they will, but they are in the business of selling cars.
See, I personally, the way that tracks work for us here, I personally would like to get to the point where we're not worried about a Nurburgring number and we start focusing more on like a Virginia International Raceway number. Something local and more of the same kind of track that you would actually drive. No one here is ever going to actually drive a Nurburgring lap. And if you do, it's certainly not going to be in your car. So
it won't be balls out either.
Right. Yeah, it won't be balls out because you're not going to take the chance you're not going home in that car. Like,
no.
But going to the Virginia International Raceway, I mean, that's only a couple hours from my house. I could realistically go do that. So I think we should normalize a more realistic track as the time to beat.
And VIR is everybody says VIR is kind of like the American ring, the long or the grand course, the big one, right? And the ZR1 smoked everything on that course.
Yeah, exactly. And now before then, it was actually Jim Merrow, and I think we talked about this. Jim Merrow that accidentally beat the Ford GT record with the C7 ZR1 while he was warming up the tires. He goes out and accidentally beats the fastest car around the Virginia International Raceway.
The VIR.
That's freaking cool. That's the kind of stuff whenever I saw that, I was like, dude, that's cool. Like, you can't say that's not cool. You accidentally broke a record. Like,
you accidentally broke it. Yeah, exactly. That's like, oops, my bad. Did that count? Hey, did you see Kevin up there, Justin? Kevin Reynolds? He called dibs when you go to sell your Seawolf.
I'll tell you what, Kevin. If I do sell it, and this is a big if because I'm not sure if I will, I am going to email you about it. So be ready for that. If that day comes, I'm emailing you. And what do you have now? It looks like you got a Riptide Blue Z06 in that little picture. Well, either way, it could be a Seawolf. If that's what you want, I will definitely email you. He says he calls dibs. You got it, man.
You got it. Yeah, Darren, I have to say, man, back in the day, not to get off but the Grand National, they changed everything. The Grand Nationals literally changed everything.
Those are cars that still to this day, if I walk into a car show, I'm like, Grand National. Like, and it's like I'm looking past Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Screw it, man. The Grand National catches my eye every time.
The other thing is, you roll up against a built Grand National on a drag strip, you're in trouble. I don't care what you're driving nowadays, you're in trouble. Don't matter, brand new, whatever.
I've seen a lot of cars from that era, and nothing has held its its look. It is held up really well. The Grand National and the Monte Carlo. Those two cars are like timeless.
But the Turbo 6 and the performance, like that car literally changed everything.
The very first car I bought, whenever I was 16, very first car I ended up buying was not the car I wanted. Me and my dad were driving along, and I saw it was a black Monte Carlo SS sitting there, and it had a for sale sticker in it. And I was like, ooh, I could do that. My dad looks at it, he's like, no way, that's way too much car for you. And I'm like, looking back on it, I'm like, so I've driven some high horsepower cars now, but that would have been a cool car to have.
Yeah, my high school girlfriend, her car that her dad gave her was Monte Carlo, and SS, and she complained about it all the time. I'm like, this car is cool as hell. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, those cars, exactly. Those cars were really cool, but I guess, to some teenager who nowadays wants like a, something crazy, it probably isn't a cool car. But for me, even whenever I was learning to drive, or when I was getting my driver's license, it was still like 2001, 2002, and there were still way cooler cars available at that time. But that Monte Carlo, man, I wanted that thing bad.
Yeah, they're still badass. So.
Yeah. Seawolf 06 says, I remember when Seawolf Gray was first introduced, a lot of people hated it. Now it's very popular. So if you guys wanted to know, I made a video early in 2024 whenever the Seawolf Gray first came out. Blackout Tinting actually got one. I drove down and reviewed the color basically because I even said in the video that this was one of my top favorite colors. I love this color, and I wanted to see it in person. And when I got down there and saw it in the showroom with the LED lights on it and stuff, I was like, God, is this thing nice? Like, that was whenever I knew someday I'm going to have a Seawolf Gray car. So yeah, this was not an impulse purchase. I wanted Seawolf Gray.
Well, and I like those. Like, I like the cacti. I know I get a lot of heat for it, but the cacti with the carbon fiber, man, I love that color. But the Seawolf was the same. The first time on the builder, I didn't like Seawolf.
Oh yeah, on the builder even on Seawolf Seawolf Gray looks horrible.
Both of them, but Seawolf looked way worse. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
And then my first one I saw in person, I was like, oh wow.
Yep.
Now that is
I didn't like Seawolf in person or cacti in person either. But I liked I hated Seawolf on the builder, but in person I was like, what? This doesn't look anything.
And I had not seen one until I did my plant tour, and they were cranking out cacti cars, and I was like, and then the ones that were rolling off were carbon fiber package Z07s with the carbon fiber wheels, and I was like, yeah. And I picked up the cacti one at Ron Fellows and drove it all the week. I loved it.
Yeah, Ricky, he says he thinks Seawolf looks like Primer Gray. I don't know what it is. There's some sort of divide here. I'm still trying to figure it out. I thought it was an age divide, but it's not, because I've seen a lot of older people that love the Seawolf. It almost seems like it's more so on the younger side that doesn't like the Seawolf, which is really weird. I would have definitely said it was the other way around, but it seems like the younger generation. How old are you, Ricky? That's probably the best way to settle this debate. Well, I don't know. He's talking about the Ninja Turtles now, so he might be older. Oh man, I might have just stepped in something.
I don't know, man. Dude, Ninja Turtles have survived like 3 fucking decades, man.
That's true.
Like I don't know how, but yeah.
Steve Robertson says, Justin, I remember you wanting a Nardo gray car a long time ago. I've been talking about it for a long time.
Yep.
All right, so Ricky, you are, like it or not, on the younger side of Corvette ownership. You're a little bit older than me, but you're still on the younger side. So I think it might be an age thing.
In.
He says 43.
You had to throw that in there. You're already on the younger age. Yeah, you're older than me though.
I may be the youngest one here. I don't know. Yeah, so Jay Brazelton, this was another reason. This was another good reason for a new purchase of a C806 is that I get to go to Ron Fellows again.
And Justin, we need to coordinate.
Yeah, we should.
Because I am 100% going when you go this time.
That would be awesome. 100%. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, there it is.
I can't wait to go again. That was one of the best times I ever
It is a really good time.
Money I ever spent.
Whenever you're out there pushing someone else's car to the limit,
someone else's car. That's right.
It's totally different.
I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go faster. Ooh, that kind of got out sideways. Yeah. Don't care. Not my car. I bought the
brakes are making a weird noise. Oh well. Yeah, John Travolta. I like it. Hypersonic Gray was a really good color. I did like. And actually, you know what? Gray. You guys will see this video soon. But I was at a car show this past weekend. I pulled in behind my friend Dana. He has a Shark Gray C7. I pull in with my Seawolf right behind him, and then someone pulled in behind me with a new Z06 or a 23 Z06 that was Hypersonic Gray. And I was like, we got the 3 grays covered right here. I got to make a video of this. So it's actually part of another video I was making. It's not its own standalone video, but it was really cool to see them all side by side. The Hypersonic Gray, and I said this initially, I really liked it until I saw it in. I don't remember what the lighting condition was, but at some point, a certain lighting condition brings out a lot of green in that car. And when we were at the car show, I could see a lot of green in it. And it really, to me, it was a turnoff. I didn't like how much green was in that color. If they would have made it more like Shark Gray from the C7, where it was just gray, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, Joe. I'm gonna spec my Z01 in Sebring with Habanero. I would sell my C6 Z06 and my C8 Z06 to get a 2019 in Sebring Orange to have a match. 100%, I would. 100%.
Wow.
I would.
That's
go for matching carbon flash Z06. Dude, that's the best color Corvette ever made, man. That's Sebring Orange. I would sell them both to buy a 2019, so that way I can have them matching.
John Perkins says that he's 25 with 35 years experience. I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a good way to say it. Yeah, you're still 25. Silver Flare is a good color. I've never been a fan of silver cars. I think they're usually kind of boring, but Silver Flare has like a copper undertone to it, and it works.
Right.
I saw, we actually did one down at the shop in Florida, and we PPF'd it, ceramic coated it. He had carbon fiber wheels. And I saw it at a car show once, not realizing that it was a car that we'd done until after I talked about it on camera. And I was like, "Oh, look at that color, man! That color pops! Like that color, that car is super clean, super glossy." And I'm giving all these props, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we did
that." Well, you know, Darren had a great comment. Your Corvette age starts and remains when you purchase your first vet. I like that.
Okay, I'll take it. I was still
like that.
Early 30s. Squirrel Cage says he's
like the grays. Go ahead.
Squirrel Cage says he's 27 after taxes.
After taxes. Yep. I want him to bring Shark Gray back. I'm sorry, but that color to me, you know, and if you wrap it like with a stealth wrap on top of that, like I've seen a couple.
Dana was kicking around the idea of doing a stealth wrap on it, but the other night we were looking at it in the LED lighting, and it was so glossy. I was like, I don't know if I do stealth on that. I like stealth, but
I love the Shark Gray.
Yeah,
the one I test drove that I was gonna buy while I was waiting on my C8. I went to the dealership and test drove one, and I actually put it into limp home mode because I overheated it because I drove the hell out of it.
Yeah.
That salesman was like the Jeff Gordon commercial where the guy's in there like screaming and yelling.
Yeah, I like that stuff. All right. So I think we covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover tonight. So for the time being, then I'm going to go ahead and have. If anybody else wants to get in on the giveaway, we're not giving it away until the end of this month, so it's not a huge rush. But if you want to get in on the AWE Exhaust $1,000 gift certificate, every $10 donated is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. You can still get in right now, and you don't have to do it while we're live either. If you send me a Venmo, just let me know in the Venmo message what it's for, and I'll get you entered in even outside of the live video. So if you're watching this and it's not live anymore, you can still Venmo me, Horsepower Obsessed. $10 is an entry, $50 or more is double entries, and I'll get you entered in. With that said, if you are a member, go ahead and type ZR1 in the comment section here, and I'll get you entered in for your free entry
Caps
tonight.
or lowercase?
It doesn't matter. Let's not make it more difficult than it has to be. Look at David being the first one.
Guys, please join us at Carlisle. We're all going to be up there. I'm going to have both my vets. Justin's going to be up there with his new one. AWE is going to be there. Solar's going to be there. You know, we've got all kinds of folks being there. We're actually going to run a special as well on our manifolds where you're going to be able to save a good bit of money. And I'm actually going to start honoring that. Anybody that emails me, I'll honor the Carlisle sale now. So we're going to be offering. You'll be able to get a lot of money off. So be able to help y'all out. But we love when you guys come hang out and bring Mountain Dew and
yeah, we do love that.
We do love that.
Charles, I'm pushing that to next week again. So I'm sorry to keep doing that, but next Monday I'm definitely going to be giving that away. So we'll still be doing the AWE giveaway as well, but the back window glass will be given away officially next Monday night. I wanted to do it tonight, but there was too much happening in between. Next Monday night for sure. So that is something good to bring up.
You had a busy week.
Yeah, we have the 8-less design rear glass for the coupe C8. That is a giveaway that is still ongoing. It will end next Monday night. The winner will be chosen next Monday night. So if you want to get in on that as well, just let me know. All right, so I'm going to copy these names in.
Mountain Dew and Jack. I don't know. What do you remember? What 10 seconds EO6 brought over? It wasn't Mountain Dew.
That was definitely not Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. What
I don't remember what he brought. It was
man.
It was not for me. When it's that hot out, I can't even think about drinking something like that.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm just adding these names in for.
And we have a really cool one, Justin. I can't wait for you to see. It'll be on display at Carlisle. One of the has the what's Tech Bronze, the wheels.
Yeah.
On his car, on a blue car, did Tech Bronze wheels, did Tech Bronze Jake logo, and we did a Tech Bronze manifold. It looks awesome. It looks, and Val, the guy that has the cacti car with the gold intake and the gold like stitching, he's actually going to be in the booth. You guys got to come by and see this car. This car's insane.
I do want to see that. Amazing. That's we've been talking about that for forever, it seems. So
cannot wait to see it in person. I've got so many pictures, and it just, you know how pictures never do the justice of any of that stuff. So
right.
And Becca's back. Did you type ZR1, Becca, for your chance to enter, or your free chance?
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah,
if you're a member, get it in there.
That's right. You get it. Yep.
And I wanted to mention, if John Perkins, if you're still in here, I moved your $50 donation over, so you are entered for this on your $50.
They're already starting Hot Rod Todd. He's already put all the mod videos out for the new car.
I haven't put out a mod video yet, but my very first one will be coming tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow.
I'll say it drops this week. Yeah, exactly.
It will be this week. It would be my first mod. If you guys are smart at all, you'll be able to deduce what my very first mod is going to be. It's not horribly exciting, but it is something that needed done. So.
Oh, it's all exciting, man. I love it.
No,
I'm jealous that you get to do it all again. Actually,
I know.
To be honest,
and that, as weird as that sounds, I said the same thing. I was like, man, half the fun of having this freaking car is modding it. Like,
I'm jealous. I mean, I'm kind of living it with my C6 Z06 now, with getting the engine built and all that stuff. But still, like, from that standpoint, I'm jealous you get to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, So I guess I'm not doing it for free, but,
no, but
it is pretty cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
All right, so I got everybody entered in. Yeah, guys, if you want to get that free entry, it normally would cost you $10. If you become a member of the channel, it's only $4.99, and you'll get that free entry. And that's going to be every Monday night. So you can potentially get 4 free entries if you're here every Monday night for the month of August. You'll get 4 free entries to win the AWE exhaust. Plus, anything you want to donate on top of that, it will still count. So like David entered $100, so he got 20 entries. But because he's also a member, he gets 21 entries.
Hey, Amber, welcome.
Yep, she's a little late. We're about to wrap this thing up, but
sorry, she made it. Thumbs up, Amber, quick.
Yeah, hurry up, smash the thumbs up, Amber. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Big thank you for the support as always. Stay tuned for the AWE giveaway. Like I said, if you're watching this and it's not live anymore, you can still donate, but we will do it every Monday night from here to the end of August. So be sure to tune in to get your chance to win $1,000 off. And yeah, thanks for the support. We'll see you guys same time, same place next Monday night. See ya.